Now that we had seen a lot of one-word substitutes, we are now going to deal with a few exercises. Okay, so the first exercise, we are going to see 5 sentences where you are going to choose the best substitute for every sentence. Let's move on to the first exercise. And the first sentence along with options. Okay, the first sentence is going to be like this. In this custom of having more than one husband at the same time is called dash. Okay, having more than one husband at the same time is called dash. I'm sure you would have guessed the answer by now, but still I'm going to take you through the options. Option A, polygyny. Option B, polyandry. Option C, polyphony. And option D, polychromy. Now that we have the 4 options, how are we going to narrow down into the correct option? All these 4 words might be quite new to a few of you all. For this, you are expected to go for extended reading. This is what I have been telling you all from the beginning of the session. Such exercises in your competitive examinations require a lot of extensive reading, a lot of practice. So you will have to come across these words earlier so as to find out which would be the apt one to write in the blank. Now here, polygyny means having several wives. Polyphony is a musical term with different voices. And polychromy is a kind of painting. And polyandry means having many husbands at the same time. So that helps us to narrow down to the answer, polyandry. Got it? So as I had told you all earlier, this comes only with extensive practice and training and reading. Let's move on to the next example. My uncle is a dash. He never consumes alcohol. And the options are option A, teetotaler. Option B, teetotaler. Option C, altruist. And option D, mercenary. So coming again to the your options given here. It's teetotaler, teetotaler, altruist, and mercenary. So my uncle is a dash. He never consumes alcohol. So he doesn't have the habit of consuming alcohol. What is a teetotaler, or who is a teetotaler? Teetotaler, altruist, and mercenary. Now, mercenary means money-minded person. So just think if that answer would be, suitable here. My uncle is a money-minded person. He never consumes alcohol. It doesn't make sense. Moving on to altruist. Altruist is a very devoted person, a person who's devoted to others. And teetotaler. Now, there is no English word that means, or there is no English word called teetotaler, right? So we will ignore this word. And now teetotaler. Teetotaler is a person who doesn't have any habit of consuming any sort of drugs or smoking or drinking, whatever it is. So since this is not an English word, we are going to excuse this word. And mercenary means money-minded. Altruist is devoted to others, and teetotaler is no bad habits. Now tell me which answer would be more apt there. My uncle is a teetotaler. He never consumes alcohol. So he doesn't have the habit of taking any sort of drugs. He's away from any bad habits. So my answer is teetotaler. Let's move on to the next example. The medicine prescribed by the scientist is considered to be the dash which cures all diseases. I'm going to take you through the options. Option A, stoic. Option B, panacea. Option D, marvel. And option D, recompense. I'm pretty sure you would have got the answer for this particular sentence by now, because one such word, or one among the word which we had used here as an option, is a word which we had already discussed when we had gone through a few examples, right? So the medicine prescribed by the scientist is considered to be the dash which cures all diseases. So a cure for all diseases, or a cure for all the problems, is called, you're right, panacea. This was a last example which we had discussed. Now what does stoic mean? Stoic means giving, pleasure or pain, difference. Marvel is wondering, and recompense is rewarding. So obviously a cure for all the diseases can only be panacea. It cannot be pleasure or pain. It cannot be wonder, nor can it be a reward. Moving over to the next example. Our boss is an dash. He never believes in the existence of God. So our boss is an dash. He never believes in the existence of God. I'm sure you would have got the answer for this by now, because again this was also discussed in the examples. So still I'm going to take you through the options. Cynic, atheist, agnostic, and theist. Cynic is, a selfish-minded person. Agnostic is a doubtful person. And theist is a person who believes in God. And as you had guessed it right, it is atheist. So our boss is an atheist. He never believes in the existence of God. That means a person who does not believe in the existence of God is called an atheist. Moving over to the last example, the last exercise. A person who hates reason is called dash. We are well known in giving excuses and reasons, right? So a person who hates reasons or discussions is called what? Let's move on to the options. Option A, misogynist. Option B, bibliophile. Option C, mythologist. And option D, misanthropist. So we need to know the meaning of these four words to choose or to narrow down to the answer. I'm sure this one word, bibliophile, is a commonly used word, and you would have definitely heard this word in your previous conversations, or you would have read it in any newspapers or magazines, or you would have definitely come across this word. What is bibliophile? Now, bibliophile is loving to read books, the love towards reading of books. So I'm sure a person who hates reason cannot be called a bibliophile. So let's exclude this option. That leaves us with three options, okay? That is misogynist, mythologist, and misanthropist. Now, misogynist is a person who hates women, okay? And misanthropist is a person who hates the entire mankind. And the mythologist is a person who hates reason. So our answer would be nothing but mythologist. I'm going to quickly take you through all the 5 exercises which we have discussed now once again. Moving on to the first sentence. In this custom of having more than one husband at the same time is called polygyny, polyandry, polyphony, and polychromy. You need to know the meaning of all the 4 words. So polygyny is having more wives. Polyandry is having more husbands. At the same time. Polyphony is related to music, and polychromy is again related to painting. So narrowing down to the answer, polyandry. My uncle is a dash, he never consumes alcohol. So when a person doesn't consume alcohol or doesn't smoke, doesn't have any bad habit, he is called a teetotaler, because teetotaler is not an English word. An altruist means devotion towards people, and mercenary means being money-minded. The medicine prescribed by the scientist is considered to be the dash which cures all diseases. Panacea. Panacea means a cure, a solution for all the diseases or problems, whereas stoic, marvel, and recompense cannot be fitted in here, because marvel means wonder. Recompense means rewarding, and stoic means being in pleasure or pain. Our boss is an dash. He never believes in the existence of God. Now see, this "an" itself gives us a clue that it should be a word which begins with a vowel sound. From that you can obviously exclude cynic and theist. It can either be atheist or agnostic. Now agnostic means being doubtful. So that gives us with the answer atheist, which means a person who doesn't believe in the existence of God, whereas cynic means being selfish and theist means believing in the existence of God. And the final sentence, a person who hates reason is called misogynist, bibliophile, misologist, and misanthropist. Misogynist is a person who hates women. Remember, misogynist is a word related to women, okay? A hater of women. And polygyny also is related to women. Okay, these are small clues which you should keep in mind to remember new words. Polygyny means having more wives. Misogynist means hating women or a hater of women. Bibliophile is love towards reading books. And misanthropist is hating the whole humankind. So that leaves us with the answer misologist. Now, misologist means nothing but a person who hates giving reasons or discussions.